Welcome into EndZone. Our game of the week between Itawamba and Shannon is for the district title. CU came out on top in that, and we will head 30 minutes to the west as Starkville hosts Murrah. They're trying to keep their 7A district hopes alive. And we'll end with Tupelo hosting Horn Lake, but we will be far from done as we've got plenty of highlights coming up on EndZone. Stick around.
WCBI Sports EndZone Show with Carlo Barone and Avery Cameron is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by Ford County, and Clark Beverage Group.
Welcome into EndZone. We've got a great show lined up for you. A lot of high-stakes games for district championships. A lot of teams, or some teams, getting their first win of the season, and the other ones kind of solidifying how their regular season might go as the postseason starts to heat up as the weather gets colder. Avery Cameron joining me as always. Avery, you were at Starkville and Murrah. We'll get to that game without spoiling it here in a minute, but what did you see from the Yellow Jackets?
Without spoiling it, I saw a lot of Yellow Jackets and not a lot of Murrah. They didn't have many people in the stands either, and so if you're watching this and you're from Jackson, y'all need to support them because I was sad for them. Well, that's what I saw.
I'm sure Starkville wasn't too sad that there was not much of an away crowd, but speaking of big games in crowds, especially away crowds showing up, as Shannon and Itawamba only 30 minutes away from each other, and they had a big game for the district title. So let's see how it all went down in their 67th matchup of all time.
The WCBI EndZone Game of the Week, presented by Carl Hogan Toyota.
Check out this 2025 Toyota Camry. Yes, I said Camry. This thing was very comfortable. The speakers were booming, and it got me to the game of the week in style. Get yours at Carl Hogan Toyota today. Moving on to the football. 34 miles separate these two schools, and 60 minutes separates who will win the district championship. Itawamba hosting Shannon. Let's go. Early fourth down for the Indians. Xavier Waters will not be stopped, as they're going to get the conversion with a little bit of help from his offensive line, and he got the first down. Head coach Clint Hoots certainly happy with that start. Their second fourth down conversion of the drive, and then his son Ashton Hoots is going to throw a touchdown here to Keyshawn Wilson. Itawamba goes up 7-0 on that strike over the middle, and that has everybody dancing on the Itawamba sideline there. In the second now, Shannon looking to respond. Deshaun Clifton going to pump fake, and he's going to fire over the middle to Darius Clifton. They're moving the chains. Head coach Ken Topp's happy with that play. He's going to be even happier with this one, as a few plays later, Clifton is going to throw it over to the sideline, and he's going to throw it to Jamari Shannon, and he's going to walk in for the touchdown. They would miss the 2-point conversion, so this one would be 7-6 Itawamba. But don't blink now, because that score would not stand, because Xavier Waters is going to take the first play from scrimmage on their next drive, 71 yards to the house, and they would go up 14-6, and they would eventually going to win this game. That would be the halftime score, but Itawamba would win the game and the district title as Waters rushes for 302 yards on the night with 2 touchdowns, and Itawamba walks away with the win, 23-18.
Sounds like a player of the week potential right there. All right, moving over to Starkville, where the Yellow Jackets are hosting the Mustangs starting in the first. Jackets are already up, but Kingston Johnson just keeps it up. Torian Knox for the Yellow Jacket touchdown there. They're going to go ahead and rack up some more points early on. That puts them up 21-0. Murrah is going to respond with a touchdown of their own. Sets up the extra point, but it's blocked by the Yellow Jackets. Kason McQuiller loving that. And homecoming night, love those beautiful dresses. They looked awesome. So did the guys. All right, just a few plays later, Johnson again with another handoff. This kid can throw, but, whatever works. Braylon Jenkins with a touchdown of his own. The Yellow Jackets go up 35-6, and it seemed like every time they got the ball, they scored. He's going to drop back here to his right. Looks like he's going to take it, but no. Finds Noah Kamba in the end zone for another 6 on the board, and then Starkville would go on to win 55-14.
Heading up north to Tupelo, they're hosting Horn Lake, trying to remain undefeated in district play. And if you're going to stay undefeated in district play, this is one way to do it. The first special teams of the day, Horn Lake is blocked by Tupelo. Devontre Brewer gets the punt block there, and they will take over. Now Braylon Williams hands it off to J.J. Hill, and that man is going to walk in. Mr. 7A football is going to score again. That one from 5 yards out. Another special teams blunder here for Horn Lake. The punt is muffed, and J.D. Wise is there for the stop for the Golden Wave, and they're going to take over right in the backyard of Horn Lake, and Braylon Williams going to throw on the run here to the back of the end zone, and Ashton Blanchard is going to catch that, be the receiving end of a 45-yard touchdown. It would be Golden Wave all the way in this one with the little dancey dance there, and they're going to be dancing home as they win this one 38-13.
Dancey dancing in slow motion.
Of course, so nice you had to see it twice. And looking at some scores from around the area, this one is a thriller there in South Panola as they get the victory over only one loss, Grenada. South Panola now 5-3. Grenada drops to 6-2 with a 48-41 win with South Panola. The Cougars coming away on top.
All right, the Clinton Arrows hosting the Oxford Chargers. I said this earlier. I think Kiffin got the start there. All right, RB Rowski Evans takes the handoff. He's going to go upfield for a good arrow gain for Clinton there. Arrows are going to drop back again. Jaden Jones takes the snap, goes to Dason Scott for the arrow touchdown. That's going to be good, and they're going to go up even more on the scoreboard there. I'm not sure what point of the game we're in, but they're going up again. All right, the next Arrows drive, it's going to stall, and they settle for a field goal by Braylon Scott to extend their lead. In the end, Oxford takes that dub 33-23. Their lead did not last very long.
Knox Kiffin gets his first victory as the starting quarterback at Oxford High. And looking at more scores, Lake Cormorant, their season just continues to be successful. Saltillo, not so much. Saltillo drops to 3-6. Lake Cormorant gets their sixth victory with a 41-7 win at home. Moving to Pontotoc with the aerial cam here, just like the NFL, but we've got it too here on EndZone. Pontotoc hosting New Hope. New Hope up 14-0. And the Warriors now trying to get something going on offense, but not going to happen on that play there. 4th and 2 now for the Warriors, and Landon McGlowan is stopped short, and they're going to turn over the ball. Now it's going back to New Hope now. Trojans ball. Tyrekus Brooks is going to roll out to the right. He's going to find his receiver, Andrew Glenn, out in the flat, and he's pushed out of bounds, but they're moving the chains. Later, the Trojans forced to punt, but another special teams blunder here in the first block of EndZone, and this one is down way back from not where we're supposed to be, and the Warriors get it on the 6-yard line with 1st and goal, but the Trojans defense would bail out their special teams as Kason Witcher is stopped short. The Trojans hold off and take a 14-0 lead into the locker room, and New Hope would win this one 20-0. And coming up, we've got the Battle of Pontotoc, North Pontotoc hosting South Pontotoc in that rivalry game, and then we head to Moorville. They're hosting Houston tonight. And finally, we will have more highlights from Nanawoya hosting Ethel. Plenty of district games and a lot on the line when we come back.
And welcome back to EndZone. We're at North Pontotoc hosting South Pontotoc for a crosstown rivalry. Visitors get the ball first, and Kai Hidalgo breaks for the long run. We saw this in our 10 o'clock show. He is not done yet. I mean, long run finally brought down 1st and goal for the South Pontotoc team tonight. Hidalgo keeps it again, gives it to the Cougars with the extra point. It's a 7-0 lead for South, but the home team is determined to answer. Andrew Winfin's having a little fun with that run. He's going to break some tackles and keep it on going. Winfin, and not yet though, but we got a lot of band cheering. All right, Winfin's going to toss to the far sideline. DeAnthony Slaughter hauls it in and streaks for the touchdown. At one point, the two rivals were tied 7-7, but North Pontotoc is going to come out on top 63-22.
And checking in on the Green Wave of West Point, they just continue to win. They get their 8th win of the season and remain undefeated with a 51-7 beatdown of Caledonia. Caledonia now drops to 1-7. Moving on, we've got Corinth and Amory, and we've got Corinth picking up their 6th win of the year as they win this one 41-17 over Amory. They are just walking the Bulldogs tonight, but it's okay. The Amory will be back. They dropped to 3-6. Columbus and Lafayette, some 5A action here. 6A action. There we go. Well, Lafayette's a 5A team. You get the point. Lafayette's also going to get plenty of points. They get 27 of those tonight against Columbus. They win this one by 13. 27-14, the final in there. Lafayette now 5-4. Columbus 1-7. Moving to New Albany. They're hosting Tishomingo County. And New Albany is going to get a huge victory. They win this one 52-21 over Tishomingo County. And now New Albany improves to 7-2 on the season. And some Thursday night action as Boonville is breaking in that brand new Blue Devil Stadium. And they get the first win there as they win this one 42-28. And Boonville picks up their 4th win of the season, improves to 4-5. Alcorn Central drops to 2-7. Next, heading out to Moorville. The Troopers hosting the Houston Hilltoppers tonight. Houston with a little bit of fans there, I guess. Houston with the fake punt on the first drive. Going to roll off to the right side, trying to get the first down, and the Troopers, and then they get there and they stop them. And they get the big stop and they turn it over. Houston now back on offense. They're going to get the screen game going, and that is going to work to perfection as he's going to cut upfield and cut into the end zone and celebrate with some fans there near the fence. And Houston will be celebrating tonight as they get their 2nd victory of the season and defeat Moorville on the road. And they win this one 56-22. What a victory for the Houston Hilltoppers tonight. Wow.
What a victory for Winona over Choctaw County.
Absolutely, yeah. Winona getting their 5th win of the season, and they defeat Choctaw Counties. Both teams now 5-4 as Winona gets a 3-point victory at home. Moving to Noxubee County and Nettleton, another district game. Noxubee County getting a massive victory over Nettleton, and they now improved to 6-3 on the season. Nettleton drops to 0-8 with a 46-13 victory in the Tigers' favor. Now moving to Senatobia as they're hosting Aberdeen here. And Senatobia is going to move to 8-1, and with this 41-6 win over Aberdeen, Aberdeen now drops to 5-4.
And to Nanawoya, where the Warriors are hosting Ethel tonight. Starting in the 2nd quarter, Nanawoya is down 16-0. Caden Massey back to pass, finds Samir Hughes for a 40-yard catch for the touchdown. This will cut the lead down to 16-6. On the ensuing kickoff, the Warriors' onside kick bounces off of Ethel's Jonathan Talley, and Parker Moffitt would recover this for the Warriors. And then it's going to be Nanawoya's ball again here off the play action. Massey rolls to his right, finds wide open Hickman for a 41-yard catch for the touchdown, and that point is going to be good. Warriors trim the lead down to 16-13 again. Now it's Ethel's turn off the play action again. Jake Newman finds Matthew Arnold way down the field, who makes a diving catch for the first down. Later on, Newman on the fake. He's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss, and that would make the Tigers have to punt. In the end, though, the Warriors take that win 40-16 over Ethel.
And checking in on Nanawoya's rival, Knox Pater, they hosted McAdams tonight. We've got highlights from that one, and then we've got highlights from Starkville Academy hosting Heritage, the Battle of Starkville versus Columbus. They will go over the border for Sulligent versus Aliceville. Stick around. Welcome back to EndZone, and welcome to Knox Pater homecoming tonight. That guy dressed up to a T. That's a great suit there. And Knox Pater is going to get it on 4th down here as they get a great run from Jacavius Riddle. He's going to pick up the first down, 6 or 7 yard gain there, but they're going to lose a lot of yards there as they get the snap over his head and they just have to dive on it. So Knox Pater forced to punt now. McAdams' turn on offense. Andre Brown, quarterback keeper, off to the left, but he would only pick up 4 on the carry. A lot of effort for just a 4-yard gain. Later, though, Brown is going to do it on the ground, and now he's going to try to do it on the air, but it's also not going to really work because he's stuffed in the backfield. They're scoreless after 1, but the next 3 quarters will be dominated by Knox Pater. They win this one 46-0. And another very similar score as Mentachi and Kazooth. Mentachi is going to lose by 40 at home to Kazooth. And Kazooth picks up another win on their season. They improved to 6-2. Mentachi drops to 2-7. Kazooth, wins this one 47-7. And then heading to another huge game there in 2A. The Baldwin Bearcats, the 1A state champs, are moving up without a new coach, without their starting quarterback from last year, and yet this team is 8-1 now with a huge victory over a solid Hamilton team. They win this one 38-28. Hamilton now 6-3, and Baldwin 8-1, and in firm control of the district title. Moving to Myrtle and Bruce. Bruce not going to be Bruce Wayne tonight, as Myrtle is going to win this one 36-20. And Luke Conley gets another victory for Myrtle, their 7th of the season. They proved to 7-2.
Yeah, they do.
So true, Avery.
Moving on to Belmont and East Union. Belmont 30. They are gonna they're gonna get that 6-3 on the season, and East Union is gonna fall to 1-8 on the season with that 4-point loss there. And Strayhorn and Water Valley always shouting out to the guy that calls that score in for us. We appreciate it. 20-point win there for Water Valley over Strayhorn, 28-48. Water Valley 7-2 now. And Hatley, shout out to Seth Lee for his win tonight. And Walnut, I think that they should be the Walnuts, but they're not. But 22-14 for Seth Lee tonight, and Hatley's going to improve 6-2. And again, Philadelphia with the first win of the season, 1-7, and Eupora is going to drop to 6-3. Taking that, shout out to Philadelphia, the Tornadoes. Man, they get their first win, and that's just awesome for them.
Eupora, not a very good last 2 weeks, but very good week this week for East Webster.
They're doing good.
They're going to leave a donut on the scoreboard there. Shout out to that Wolverines defense. East Webster wins this one with a clean touchdown game. We don't like field goals, clearly not in East Webster. I actually like kickers based on what I've said in previous weeks. I do support kickers, but East Webster really didn't need theirs tonight as they win this one. Or I guess he kicked a couple extra points.
All right, moving on.
35-0. You see the score.
Calhoun City 54 to Vardaman's donut. Another donut coming back to back at you there. Calhoun City picks up a win for 7-1 on the season. Vardaman to 2-7.
Not very sweet with the potato people tonight, but very sweet. Wow, look at this. Another shutout game. My goodness. TCPS over Thrasher, but this one was on Thursday, so this is old news for the folks there in Tupelo, but they're going to win this one 41-0. And then heading right to the team right down the street from us. Here we go. West Lowndes and Okolona. West Lowndes is going to win this one very easily. They win this one 50-12, and West Lowndes now improves to 4-3 in the season. Okolona drops to 3-6.
Biggersville, the bigger people here. 62 to New Hope's 13. I had to get that one in there, Carlo. Don't give me that look. 62-13 bit there. Biggersville is going to go to 8-1 on the season, which Smithville is going to fall to, New Hope. All right, anyways, moving on. Starkville Academy versus Heritage Academy. The Volunteers looking to light out the Patriots, starting it in the second half here. The Patriots are going to be up. Starting it off, Jonathan Chokehold Banks was that with the carry there for the first down. All right, Starkville Academy is going to try to get a stop here, but can they do it? Another Patriots touchdown coming right at us. Beautiful ball. Heritage is going to go up 28-7 after that touchdown right there. Now, defense is what Starkville Academy needed tonight. A solo sack by Brody Berkeley to push the Patriots back and make it just a little more challenging. But it doesn't take long for Heritage to get that first down, though. A beautiful pass right here to move the chains, and they just keep on chugging along. I think that was just beautiful, if you ask me. All right, and one more sack for the Vols tonight. Final score 14-34, and we'll come back after the break.
Welcome back to EndZone, and checking on our Academy scores, Lamar getting the victory over Winston Academy 27-12. And then Winona Christian over Oak Hill Academy 33-6 the final in that one. And moving on to Sologent in Aliceville over the border. As we will start with Sologent here on offense. Their quarterback, John Will Spreel, is going to take the snap. He's going to take his own number here. He's going to rush off to the left side and down the sideline for a huge gain. And Sologent will be moving the chains now. Spreewell back on offense. You can do it on the ground, and he's going to try to do it through the air, but the defense is sniffing that one out, and they get it at the line of scrimmage just for a really small gain. 3rd and goal now for the Sologent offense. Sologent is going to run it off to the right, but they're going to get stopped, and they've dropped the baby on that play, and Aliceville will recover. And Aliceville now on offense, they try to run it, and Sullivan is just going to stop them there in the backfield, and that's going to result in a safety, and that is also going to result in a Sullivan win. The final in this one, Sullivan 40, Aliceville 22.
And moving right down the road, Lamar County hosting Isabella tonight. They're going to start later on in the game. Levi Wilkins throws the pass to AJ Fieldstad. He's going to get a big game, not going to get the first down. Going to make it 4th down, but it's a big gain there. 4th and long, Wilkins throws a touchdown pass right here on the 4th down to Jordan Hines. Isabella goes up 14-7 there. Lamar County coming at it. You're going to look to respond. Right now, Hunter Gallup attempts to throw a pass. Going to look like an interception, but don't be fooled. It's not. Defensive pass interference, automatic first down. Lamar County loses to Isabella 7-30.
And South Lamar is going to pick up a huge victory, 12-point win, and they win this one 46-34. Pickens County and Marion County. Pickens County not going to win this one in enemy territory tonight. Marion County wins this one 54-12. Then we will end EndZone tonight with Gordo hosting Carbon Hill, a 7-1 team going against a 1-17 on homecoming. McKay and Robertson is going to keep this one all the way around the right side. He powers in for the first Gordo touchdown of the night to put the Green Wave on the board. All good in the neighborhood after that play. And Ryder Robinson is going to take this snap. He's going to throw, and he rolls out to Caden Brock, and Brock is going to drag defenders into the end zone as Gordo wins this one very handily, 61-25. Wow, that was a lot of scores and a lot of stuff there, but we have to look at one play in particular from that Nanawoya-Ethel game. That's got to be our fast speed play of the night. Cade Massey throwing a bomb, and they score a touchdown.
The Fastnet Speed Play, brought to you by Fastnet, powered by Ford County. Fast, affordable internet service from the people you know.
Well, Avery, that was a lot of scores there.
At the end. Hope you guys got that.
Yeah, if you guys didn't, it'll obviously be on our website, but plenty of shocking results here.
Yeah,
Gotta talk. All right, well, I guess we won't have enough time to talk about it. But
next week.
Yeah, we will talk about it next week. But that's all we have for EndZone. We will see you guys next week.
WCBI Sports EndZone Show with Carlo Barone and Avery Cameron is brought to you by Carl Hogan Toyota, Fastnet, powered by Ford County, and Clark Beverage Group.